Great job by Little Rock today, winning 2 games against 2 great teams, and you got to tip your hat to them. They took a lot of good at-bats throughout the day, watched the entire first game as it was transpiring, and complete performance by them. I think the game kind of speaks for itself where it got away from us, and we'll leave it here tonight, turn all of our focus to tomorrow, and find a way to play great.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. Questions now for Cooper. If you raise your hand, please, we'll get a microphone to you.
Hey, Cooper, in the back here, just if you could speak to the confidence that you have in the guys that have yet to throw, whether it be Kaysen or Zach or whomever is left on your staff that you think is going to have to pull you guys through this tomorrow.
Yes, sir. I mean, I have ultimate confidence in everybody that we have left. You've seen it all year, and I think we have a great group of strike throwers that are yet still ahead to come and throw tomorrow.
Cooper, just for you, what was working on the mound today?
Just feeling out all 4 pitches and executing 1 pitch at a time, not letting the last pitch affect the next pitch, and just staying within my plan.
Yeah, Cooper, just kind of building on that to get high leverage, 11 outs there in postseason baseball. Just what does that do for your confidence as a freshman pitcher, kind of keeping the team in the game there for most of the middle innings?
Yes, sir. I mean, not less than 12 months ago, this is everything that I dreamed of, being a part of this program, and getting the opportunity to do that and show the world what I'm capable of. It's what everybody wants to do.
Cooper, what did this feel like in the dugout before you were pitching? Just the shock of it, if there was.
Yes, sir. I mean, I was in the pen, but I don't think there was ever a wave in confidence by anybody, and we just wanted to keep playing hard and executing our plan.
Coop, I don't know if you've ever faced a team that's playing with a lot of confidence, but how do you match that? How do you overcome that? Obviously, Little Rock's done a lot of work here in Baton Rouge. I guess, how do you make sure that your teammates are ready for what they're going to bring to you tomorrow?
Yeah, I think conversation is key, and those guys that are coming in tomorrow would be some good learning points with stuff that I brought to the table today, and then obviously we had success in the first game, and we'll get together and conversate about how to go about things.
Any other questions for Cooper? We're good? All right, Cooper, thank you for joining us. We appreciate your time.
Thank y'all.
As we're getting ready to open up the floor for questions for Coach Johnson, I don't know if you know, they're just making the announcement, 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Evidently has been confirmed, ESPN 2, 8 p.m. tomorrow night. With that, let's open up the floor for questions for Coach Jay Johnson.
Coach, when the tide of this game started to turn, do you feel like the pressure sort of got to you guys tonight?
I think it's probably an individual question. I wouldn't say that as a team. Certainly some guys on the mound didn't perform probably the way that they want to, or maybe to the point where they're capable of, and I think you'd have to ask them individually that. I didn't sense, as Cooper said, a widespread panic or anything like that in the dugout. Credit them. They made some big pitches with runners on base, and, we gave them a lot of free bases, and then they cashed in. Took some really good at-bats with runners on base. And so they're a hot team. They've been playing well, here for the past 2 weeks. And you give a team that's playing well more opportunities, and you put yourself in a tough spot. And I think that happened, 3 times tonight in the game, and that was the difference.
Yeah, Jay, can you just talk a little bit more about those scoring opportunities that you guys just didn't capitalize on there, and those middle innings in particular? Just what did you see? What kind of, went wrong and to why you guys weren't able to score in those opportunities?
Yeah, I thought they executed a few good pitches at key times. And then, again, we have a saying, trying to do too much is not a plan. And so, again, I think it's probably the guys that were in those spots, something I'll go back to them and just make sure they're locked into their process and use it as a learning experience. And that's what we try to do. And I'm confident that they can do that. They've done a good job of bouncing back after a tough game, both individually and collectively this year, and gives me great confidence about what they can do tomorrow.
Yeah,
Michael?
Jay, just kind of expanding on that, it may not feel like it tonight, but you're still in an advantageous position, I guess. How do you remind your team of that and try to steal some of this momentum back from a clearly hot team?
Yeah, it's a special day in their life tomorrow. I mean, after this, unless you play in the Major League World Series, you never play for a team ever again. It's an individual sport in pro baseball. And you never quite get the feelings of Game 7s unless you actually get to do it in the big leagues, and that's a very small amount of guys that actually get to do that. So opportunity, that's what it is opportunity, and I'm excited about tomorrow. And just like anybody else would have rather won tonight and wrapped it up, but we didn't, and that's because the opponent did a great job. And so I think it's just about opportunity tomorrow. Less than 24 hours ago, we probably played the cleanest and best brand of baseball that you could possibly play at this level, and that was 24 hours ago. So I'm excited to see them do that tomorrow.
Coach, was there any thought of starting Zach or Kaysen tonight?
Yeah, I mean, there was. I think Jaden had pitched well over the last 2 weeks, between South Carolina and the SEC tournament against Ole Miss, and felt like he was a good option to do that. And, there was a number of ways that we looked at it, and he had a great first inning, and not a very good second inning. And so, it's all hands on deck. So he's got to recover well, and if we need him to get an out tomorrow or two, then he's got to be ready to do that.
Yeah, Coach, kind of just piggybacking off of that, with some of the guys out of the bullpen, when it seems like they turn the corner, what's kind of preventing them from getting to that consistency completely?
It's probably a guy-by-guy question again. I don't think I'd be being fair to any of them if I answered that in a totality. I think they're people that care a lot about performing well for themselves and for this team, and those guys that took the mound tonight have all performed well for this team. And so we'll pick them up and dig in, because my hope is we'll need them again, in this season for us to be successful and be where we want to be.
Last question for Coach over here in the back right.
Coach, you talked about Cooper a little bit, and he mentioned it. How big was that for him tonight? Just not for his development, but for put you in a situation where you still have your two big arms ready to go.
Yeah, I think it was a really good performance. I think, you look at the stat sheet, he allowed one free base, filled up the strike zone, executed to both their left and right-handed hitters. And, hopefully it's next year, but that's why I believe he can be a starter, and he can extend. He's got good arm speed and fastball, breaking ball change, pitch to both sides of the plate, top and bottom. I have a lot of confidence in him. He's had a really good season, in the opportunities that we've given him. And there's a lot of good days for him here ahead.
All right, Coach, thank you for your time. We
Thank you.
appreciate it.